Today, we are going to learn about a little bit more about weight. Can you say the word weight?
Weight.
And I have a card right here that says the word weight. Can you say it?
Weight.
And I'm going to put it up here because I know we've been learning a lot about different things. We've been learning about length, and we've been learning about height, and we've also been learning about weight. And I'm going to put this here so we can remember today what we're learning about when we're talking about. So what are we learning about today?
Weight.
That's right. And weight is how heavy or how light something is. Can you say heavy?
Heavy.
Say heavy.
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 And light.
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 And I'm going to show you some things that are heavy and light. Want to see something heavy? I know that this is heavy because I need to use big muscles to pick it up. Would you like to feel this? It is super heavy. It is full of fantastic and it is heavy. Can you pass it around? You're strong so you can pick it up, but I can feel that I need to use my muscles and that tells me that it's heavy.
So, I can get it.
You have big muscles, so I knew you could lift it up, but it smells a little like soap because it's cleaner. Can I show you something that's light? I barely need to use any muscles at all to hold our tissue paper from Art Studio. Would you like to feel it? I can feel this is light. Can you say that word?
Light.
Can you feel this and pass it around on you? Whoa!
No.
Do you need to use big muscles for that, Josiah? No. Ooh, wow. It's super light. Josiah, can you grab that and make sure to pass it on quickly? Beautiful. Pass it on to Logan. And then I want you to pass it to Edward. Let's get back in ready position because that was super fun. That was super fun, but now it's time to think a little bit harder about weight together. So sometimes we talk about heavy and light, but sometimes we need to talk about more detail than that. We need to know how heavy or how light. And sometimes pre-K students and mathematicians need to know how heavy or how light so they know how much muscles they're going to need to use to lift something, or they know if they can put something on top. So maybe they want to put a block in construction zone and they need to know if it's gonna make it crash, if it's super heavy. So today we're going to do some weighing. We're going to figure out the weight of some different things that we write with in school. I have over here some different things that we're going to weigh. We're going to weigh a pen, a dry erase marker, a pencil, a gel pen, a crayon, and a marker. We're going to weigh all these things together today. And we're going to use a balance. And we've learned a bit about a balance. I want you quickly to tell me what you know about a balance with a quiet hand, just like we always raise a quiet hand. Logan, what do you know about how a balance works?
A balance works if something's big, like if we take a big block that stretches out and then it'll go down because when things are heavier it goes down, when things are lighter it goes up.
Great, you explained it really well. Josiah, did you hear Logan explain it? So she said when you put something heavy on one side, or the heavier side goes down and the lighter side goes up. Now, we know that the two sides are equal when the balance is flat. When the balance is what?
Flat.
And equal means the same. We've learned that before. Equal means the same. So when the balance is flat, the two sides are the same. I'm going to show you, Logan, I'm going to show you how we're going to weigh our different writing utensils. We're going to write it up on our chart. And then each one of you is going to get your own balance and you're going to get to do some weighing. All right? And I saw you, Edward, when you first came in, you said money, because you saw something exciting that we were going to get to use to do our weighing. We're going to get to use pennies to do our weighing. Okay? So Josiah, you're going to get plenty of chance to touch them and play with them and weigh with them. Right now it's my turn. Then we'll do it together, and then it will be your turn. All right? So I need to make sure to see all eyes, Logan, and brains and ears, so that I know you're learning and you can do it on your own. All right? The first thing we're going to weigh is a pencil, because I have this chart here and it says we use pennies to weigh different classroom writing tools and found. A pencil weighs pennies. Our job is to fill this in. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the pencil on one side of the balance, okay? I'm going to put it on one side. Yeah. I noticed that this side of the balance went down because now this side is heavier. This side is
Heavier.
It's heavier. And this side is
Light.
It's lighter. That's right. So my job is to take the pennies one at a time and put them on this side. Okay? Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to see how many pennies weigh the same amount as a pencil. Okay? And I'm going to know when to stop when I see that the balance is flat. Okay? Josiah, can you sit up so I can see that you're listening? Sometimes it's easier to put the pennies in and count at the end, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to count at the end. Okay, Danya, I think it's the easiest way to do it. Ooh, so I see it's moving a little bit, but it's not quite equal. Wow, what do you notice, Edward?
It equal to the flat.
Josiah, make sure you don't touch it. That makes it difficult to weigh, okay? I just want to make sure, all right? Maybe it would be easiest if your hands were in ready position so that I would be sure you weren't touching. Thanks so much. I noticed that they're equal, Edward. That's right. So that tells me that a pencil weighs 1, 2, 3. Logan, how many pennies does a pencil weigh?
3.
Yeah, make sure you're listening while we're counting, okay? A pencil weighs the same as 1, 2, 3 pennies.
And why does the heavy side goes down and why does the light side go up?
That's a really good question, and that's something we can talk about another time in a little bit more detail. But the short answer is that when something's heavy, it pulls things down, right? It pulls them down. Just like when you hold the Fantastic bottle, it sort of pulls your arm down, right? So let's get back in ready position and do a little bit more weighing. I noticed that the pencil weighs 3 pennies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a marker. I'm going to say a pencil weighs
3.
how many?
3.
How many?
3.
Very good. 3 pennies. This time we're going to weigh a marker and you guys are going to help me out and then you'll get a chance to do it all on your own, okay? So I'm going to take out my pennies. 3. And I'm going to take out my pencil. And this time we're going to weigh a marker. Alright, we're going to weigh a marker. We're going to see how many pennies equal or weigh the same as a marker. Josiah, can you put the marker in one side of the balance for me?
Oh!
So what happened, Edward?
The marker side went down.
The marker side went down. Why did the marker side go down, Danye?
That was the biggest.
It was the heavier side. So what do I need to do with the next penny? Who can help me out? What do I need to do to figure out how much the marker weighs? I need someone to tell me with their words and then they'll show me. Josiah. Can you use your words? I see you pointing. I see you have your brain in the right place. What do I need to do right there? I need to put 1 penny in there?
No.
So tell me 2. Let's see.
Oh.
Josiah, what do you notice? Is that telling me how much the marker weighs?
3.
3. So 3. I see you're doing a lot of guessing, and that's great. Do you know how we can tell? You can tell me how we can figure out when to stop. Let's listen to Logan, okay?
When it stopped, it's at the same side. So when it's at the same side, that means it's the same amount.
So how are we going to know when it's the same amount?
When you put 1 more in it.
You think it'll be 1 more? What will happen to the balance? Danya, do you have an idea? Maybe you could help us out?
Maybe the balance will be the same amount.
Oh, that is a really good idea. I think that's what we talked about before. We can tell if the sides are the same, if the balance is flat. So let's see. I want you guys to help me. Danya, you can help me by putting in the pennies 1 at a time. And Logan, Edward, and Josiah, you're going to let Danya know when to stop, okay? think it's time. Let's try. If we add too many, we can always take one out. What do you think? You think you have to take one out? Let's see. Ooh, it's a little bit in between. What's closer to flat? I think maybe if you put that penny back, it would be a little bit closer to flat. Yeah, I noticed that that's pretty much flat. It's a little bit tricky to balance exactly. Can you tell me, Josiah, how much does a marker weigh? How many pennies does a marker weigh? So let's put these back.
3.
Ooh. Can you look in there and make sure you're double checking your work? Can you look in there and double check? So how many pennies, Josiah, did we have to put in there to make the balance equal? 4. Did you count those to check? You did? Great. There are 4 pennies in there, Edward, and we see that 4 pennies makes the balance flat. It makes the sides equal. So I'm going to take this out, and Logan, I would love for you to help me out by adding into our chart a marker weighs. A marker weighs how many? Oh, how many were in there? 4. You were helping me out. Thank you, Logan. Do you guys think you're ready to do some weighing on your own? You think so, mathematicians? You're ready? If you are ready to do some weighing, boys and girls, if you are ready to do some weighing, I want to see your bodies in ready position so I can put a scale in front of you. And I know that you're going to treat it safely and nicely. One of the balances, sometimes we call them scales. So let me see who's ready to get a balance of their own. Logan looks like she's ready. Great. When I put the balance in front of you, the first thing you're going to do is just, you can look at it with your eyes. I do not want your hands to touch it right away, because we're going to talk about the instructions and what we're going to do before we play with it, okay? Our job is we're each going to get a different writing tool, and we're going to figure out how much it weighs, and we're going to record it at the end on these different sheets of paper, okay? I'm going to show you how it works. It's going to help us so that we keep track of how much different writing tools in our classroom weigh, because it's super important to know the weight, okay? Let's see who's ready for their balance. You're going to look at it. Look at it. Logan, your voice should still be off. You're just going to look at it. Edward, I see you have a quiet hand. Logan, the instructions were to not touch it. I saw you had a quiet hand. Do you have something quickly to share? Oh, in the picture. Good observation. So let me tell you now what we're going to do, okay? I'm going to give you each, with your balance, a cup of pennies. And you're going to use these. Josiah, I need to see you that you're ready and you're going to be safe with the equipment. Thanks. I'm going to give you each a cup of pennies, and you're going to use these. Your hand should not be on them. You're going to use these to weigh, okay? We talked a little bit about how we weigh together and how we figure out how much something weighs. I'm going to give you each a different tool that we use to write. And your job is to add pennies one by one to the other side of the balance until it's equal, and you can tell me how much it weighs, okay? Because we know that a pencil weighs, read this with me, a pencil
weighs 3
pennies. A
marker weighs 4 pennies.
Fantastic. So, Logan, your job is going to be to figure out how many pennies a dry erase marker weighs, okay? And I'm going to give it to you, and your job is to put it in one side of the balance, add pennies one by one until you figure out how many it weighs. Exactly, and Logan, when you're all finished, you're going to put your hands on your head. I'm going to come around, I'm going to check your work, and I'm going to give you a little worksheet so you can write in the answer, and then you can go on back to centers, okay? Great, I'm excited to see your work. Here's your dry erase marker. Edward, your job is going to be to figure out how much a pen weighs, okay? So you're going to do just what I told Logan. You're going to put this on one side, and you're going to put pennies until it's equal, and then your hands go. Fantastic. You know how it works. I'm going to give you our gel pen to weigh down yet. You need to be very careful with it. You know it's special, right? All right. So you're going to get to weigh the gel pen. And Josiah, your job is going to be to weigh a crayon. Edward, I see your hands on your head. What did you figure out?
When I put 2 in there, it got equal because both of them went to the side.
So how much does a pen weigh? How many pennies?
2.
2. Fantastic. You did a really great job. You did a really great job. I'm going to give you a marker, and you're going to finish our sentence over here, okay? You're going to write your name, and you're going to fill that out. And when you're all done, you can bring it to me, and you can go on back to centers, okay? Hey, Logan, I'm noticing your hand's been on your head for a minute. Did you figure out how much a dry erase marker weighs?
A dry erase marker weighs 3.
3 pennies? How do you know that? I'm noticing that your balance isn't totally equal yet. Remember, if you touch it with your hands, that's not the same as just letting the pennies and the marker balance out, okay? So make sure your hand is off the scale. Ooh, I think you've got a little more work to do because I'm noticing this side is still farther down, right? Okay. Let's see, do I see anyone else's hands on head? Down here, I see your hands on your head. What did you figure out? Ooh, make sure you don't touch it. So tell me about what did you figure out?
Penny. I figured out that
We're drawing on the box. That's not what you mean.
So a gel pen weighs how much? You can get it from this pen. A gel pen weighs 4 pennies. You are too smart. So I'm going to give you a picture of a...
I know where a gel pen is.
Oop, I don't see the picture here. This one, because that's what I was going to use. That's sort of, it doesn't look just like our gel pen, but you can use that, okay? Here you go.
That's the gel pen.
Well, it looks like a gel pen, but it's hard to tell in black and white. I see your hands are on your head, too. You know, you get what you get, and you don't get upset. What did you figure out over here?
When I put the 3 months down, and when I put it up.
So what did you notice? How much does a crayon weigh? What is it equal to? How many pennies? Did you double check? I'll come and help you. Keep experimenting with adding pennies, okay? You got a heavy one there, Logan. So Josiah, how many pennies are over here? 3. So I noticed that 3 pennies makes the scale equal. That means that 3 pennies, oops, I shouldn't touch it. 3 pennies is the same, weighs the same as 1 crayon, right? So how much does 1 crayon weigh? 3 pennies. Fantastic. I'm going to give you a little piece of paper. You can write that for me and write your name, and then you can hand it in and go back to centers, all right? Cool? Great. You weighed a crayon. There you go. And I'm going to give you a brown marker. Logan, let's talk about what's happening over here. What do you need help with? So let's put it in there. Let's leave it in that side, okay? So what's happening? Is it not... What side's heavier right now? So what does that tell you need to do?
I need to take away 1.
Okay, so let's try taking away 1 and see what happens. Look, and let's check it out. Does that look equal to you? That looks pretty close. We can try taking 1 more out. It might not be perfect.
2, 1.
So I think maybe if you got a tricky one because it's not exact. But I think when we added 1 more in there, it was pretty close to equal, right? So let's try adding 1 more in there again. So when we let it balance out, that looks just about flat, doesn't it to you? What do you think? So how many pennies? Thanks, Josiah. You can put it in the marker bin. Fantastic. 6. Oh, we can even move them around now. It's okay, Josiah. You can just leave it for now, all right? Thank you. Let's count carefully. 7. 7. So what does a dry erase marker weigh? What does a dry erase marker weigh? How many pennies?
7.
7 pennies! Fantastic! A dry erase marker weighs...
7 pennies.
Good job, Logan. That was a little tricky for you. I love the way you kept working to figure that out. Would you like to fill out your exit slip? Great. Now that you've figured out your answer. Scoot on in, okay? Thanks so much. A dry erase marker weighs, you know the answer to that.
This looks like the red one.
Oh, let's not use our dry erase marker to write because that's for the dry erase boards. There you go. You mean the pen looks like the red one? That's funny. Good work, Logan. I love the way you thought through that. Give me 5. You can go get your center stick and go to center.